Shalom, brothers and sisters. I hope all is well. First of all, fair use. This was an exchange between Brother Deacon and myself from last year. Hopefully, we'll be able to set up a full debate with the brother and, address some false doctrine. So, the brother was trying to clown a little bit in this video here, and I was trying to educate him a little bit. But it was a sparring match, nothing too crazy, respectful. It's all love. Just trying to help pull the scales off some eyes. So let's get into it.
What up, brother?
What's going on, man? I had to go out just so everybody can see. Esau! What's going on, though?
What's up, man? How we doing?
You got some smoke today?
Yeah. I wanted to educate you a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
If you don't mind.
Go ahead. Educate me.
All right. So, because I think, brother, we always got to stay humble, right? And knowledge puffers up, to where do we want to be right or do we want to get it right? Right?
Wait, hold on. You're a Gentile, right?
I'm mixed. I haven't done my genealogy. I got Indian blood, Mexican blood. So on both sides, my mother and father.
Okay, so your father's father's father.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I'd have to do some homework.
Somebody just sent me a picture of. Never mind. All right, so you could be an Israelite, possibly.
Yeah, and I think it's a huge blessing, but I think I still think that I'm of the belief that people of the nations can be grafted in. It's proven in the Torah, New Testament, all of that.
Oh, so it's proven in the Torah.
Yeah.
That a person who joins the Israelites stop being their own bloodline, race, and ethnicity.
To a degree, yes, they're treated as a native born, and I don't think that's. I know you say that's.
Show me that.
So, all right. So just like Leviticus 19, right, 34, saying to not, but the stranger that dwells among you shall be unto you as one native born. Now there are references to Israelites as a stranger, but that doesn't mean that that's always what that's talking about.
Okay, what stranger is that in Leviticus 19 and 34?
That would be somebody that's getting where they fit in and circumcising themselves, getting with the laws, falling in line, all of that.
What does that text say that at? You see how much you added to the text just right there?
Okay.
In Leviticus 19:34 does it says, this is the stranger that has circumcised themselves and is now keeping the law and all of that.
Well, there's, no disrespect, but to me, to a degree, like just common sense, because for them to be treated.
Right. Common sense, right? Because precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. When we bring out all the scriptures together, that would have to be the case. They ain't going to be treated as a native born while not falling in line. Just because they dwell in the area, that's not going to qualify them to be treated as a native born if they're not being circumcised and getting with the program.
As a native born, they would have to be getting in line, right? Just like it says that that God doesn't hear the prayer of sinners, right? Nowhere in the Torah is that a precept, but it's very clear in Numbers, I believe it's like 16 or so, where that comes into play. But there's no precept in the Torah that straight says, if you sin, God will not hear your prayers. But by default, go ahead.
It's in Proverbs, though.
Right, but not in the Torah, right? So Proverbs makes that statement, and then I believe it's Peter that quotes Proverbs. And I was actually studying, and I found where in the Torah we would get that precept, but it doesn't clearly just say, if you sin, God won't hear your prayers. It's kind of like by.
On a side note, if y'all want, I'll put that teaching in the description where y'all can find that, where I discuss where we would get that precept from, even though it's not straight given in the Torah, which is correct. There is no spot where that's given. That's why the brother couldn't take me there or point out the scripture, because it's not there. You know, you got to read between the lines to find it.
Default, they were praying, they were crying out, and God said he's going to turn his ear to you because you're disobedient. So we would come to that logic, come to that conclusion.
All right, what about Ruth?
So Ruth was part of the congregation.
Okay, so why did she still get treated like a second-class citizen?
Why would you say that?
A third-class citizen. So
why would you say that?
Can you buy an Israelite woman to be your wife who's not a virgin?
Can you buy an Israelite woman as it? Okay.
No, because it's called the dowry of a virgin. That would be prostitution. If she's not a virgin, that's prostitution.
I can't lie. That precept caught me off guard, or that question, not precept, that question caught me off guard. I was like, wait, hold on, wait, what?
So, and it says, no whores that are the daughter of Israel. Now, what happened with Ruth? Boaz purchased her. So this shows you that Ruth 4:10, he purchased her. This shows
which is, go ahead.
We didn't treat her as we would treat ourselves, even though she was amongst us and trying to keep our customs. She was still called a Moabite. She was still purchased. You can't purchase a non-Israelite virgin woman. And the baby was given to Naomi. And she couldn't even enter the congregation to take the foot off of the near kinsman, which she was supposed to do according to Deuteronomy 25.
So, all right, what was the first thing you said? You said Ruth. Okay, so she was purchased. Right, but see, when someone's redeemed, that is purchased, just like in the curses of Deuteronomy, what is it, 28, where it says you will be sold and no one will purchase you. And I've heard people use that as a rebuke towards Hebrew Israelites.
She wasn't in slavery.
I'm sorry?
She wasn't in slavery.
No, I understand. But just like when it comes to like the Jubilee, and when people would sell, themselves into servitude or whatnot, they could be redeemed. They could be purchased back. You know what I mean? To be redeemed. But so what I really want to discuss with you, my brother, is Deuteronomy 23 and entering into the congregation, tied into Isaiah 56. Talking about the strangers and the eunuchs.
Okay, so do you believe that God's laws are going to change?
Not at all.
Okay, so
I just believe it's a simple misunderstanding in Deuteronomy 23 when it talks about the congregation. It's just a simple misunderstanding. I don't believe God's laws change at all. Nothing's been done away with.
So to address his point in Ruth 4:10, it reads, moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day. Okay, so when you are, redeeming land, if you're redeeming land and also reestablishing someone's name, this is all about redemption. This is not purchased as this brother was trying to portray it, where it's, something foreign or what have you. So even him trying to double down and say she wasn't in slavery, and to be honest, like I said, the precept here caught me off guard. What I'm saying is 100% on point. I just didn't know the correct way, where to go properly in scripture to bring this out, but it couldn't be more, on point. Isaiah 11:11, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth, right? So this is him gathering the remnant. And the key is the word recover there is the same word used in Ruth 4:10. It's the same exact word. So this isn't about purchased in the way he's trying to frame it. This is about redemption. This is about, being redeemed. Just like I was explaining, I just didn't know the proper precept to go to at the time.
I follow Torah. I eat clean. I'll be out there in boots for tabernacles and all of that.
What is the congregation in Deuteronomy 23?
So that's like a hierarchy within the people. It's not just the common people. It's not just the congregation and the common people. And a way to prove that, there's a couple ways, but like Isaiah 56, where it talks about the eunuch, let me see, I got it pulled up right here. It says, for thus saith the Lord, this is Isaiah 56:4. For thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths and choose the things which please me and take hold of my covenant, even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a place and a name better than sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. And if you look in Deuteronomy 23, verse 1, it says, he that is wounded in the stones or hath his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. So that would seem to be a contradiction. It's not a contradiction at all. It just takes some studying and digging into the word. So the word congregation in Torah, you got three different words that are used to say congregation. One is moed, which is usually talking about the tabernacle of the congregation. One is kahal, which is talking about a hierarchy.
All right, let's have a little fun. You see the brother turn his head there when I said that because it sounded foreign to him. But I'm not doing nothing but speaking facts. That is exactly what it is. But, we trying to educate the brother. So let's go.
Or a group of leaders within the congregation. And then you have another word called Idah. Idah seems to be most of the time like the common congregation, the people. So in Deuteronomy 23, where it says they will not enter the congregation a Moabite forever, it's the kahal. It's saying that they will never enter into a level of leadership. And I'll show you. I know you're smiling, but you got to want to get the truth and not just be right, my brother. So if you look at, Leviticus.
Hold on.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
If that's the case.
Yes, sir.
So I agree with you on a couple things. I agree with you that congregation can mean two different things. I don't know about three, but it can mean two different things. It can mean the people in general, the Israelite people in general, or it could mean to congregate amongst the temple, right? So the reason that I believe, the reason that I can prove that in Deuteronomy 23, when it says an Ammonite and Moabite shall not enter into the congregation, is because, for one, that congregation is dealing with congregating amongst the temple. Why? Because Ruth was not allowed to enter into that congregation, that council that they were having, and she wasn't able to pluck off the shoe from the near kinsman. It was somebody else that did it. It was a man that did that. I think he slapped him or spit on him or something. But
right.
Deuteronomy 25 said the woman was supposed to be the one to do that.
Right. And that could have been a technicality where she just wasn't there for their meeting, and he was supposed to redeem her, inherit basically or reestablish that name and that bloodline, and he didn't want to do it. She wasn't there, so they just went about their business and still followed.
See, and then even with what the brother said right there, she couldn't come to the temple. This did not take place at the temple. In Ruth 1:19, it reads, so they went until they came to Bethlehem, and it came to pass when they were come to Bethlehem that all the city was moved about them and said, is this Naomi? So the temple was not in Bethlehem. This had nothing to do with being at the temple or not, right? The way it's laid out in Ruth, Boaz is basically like, you chill here, I'm gonna go handle this. Not like you're not allowed to come, but he was going to handle business, and he just told her to stay. Right? In Ruth 4:1, it says, then went Boaz up to the gate and sat him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by unto him. He said, ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. So then elders came and they had a council at the gate, just like the Torah says, you will have judges at your gates and what have you. But this was not about the temple. So, that is not correct. Let's continue.
The precept within the Torah just the same. But just like you're saying that you can prove that that's not the case, to me, when you see clearly in Deuteronomy 23 where it says that it doesn't say the word eunuch, but we know, you and I both know, that a eunuch is someone that ain't got their manhood.
Not necessarily. There's 3 types of eunuchs.
Yeah, but I mean, come on now. When
Did the
go ahead.
Did the Messiah say there's 3 types of eunuchs?
He may have.
Yeah, he said there's 3 types of eunuchs. He says there's one that has been made a eunuch because he's like a weirdo. He don't got game. He don't know how to get a woman. There's a eunuch who have got his stuff chopped off. Then there's people who have made themselves eunuchs, meaning took a vow of celibacy until the kingdom of heaven. So he don't necessarily mean either of those are dealing with crushed balls. For example, in the kingdom, we'll have glorified bodies. So there won't be any Israelite with no crushed balls.
Right. So let me show you real quick. Let me show you a couple. So I'm telling you now, like if you go through a concordance and you look through all the words congregation, there's 3 words used. Moed, which I found to be surprising. Moed used as congregation because we know like the moed or like the set, it means set apart, right?
Correction, moed does not mean set apart. It means appointed, right? The appointed time, the appointed place, and what have you. And then just to touch base on the whole eunuch thing, you figure in Isaiah 56, it says, let not the eunuch say, I am a dry tree, right? So to try to say, well, this applies to one type of eunuch and not the other, it doesn't say that. You would be implementing that to make your doctrine be true,
In the kahal, and then the idah. And if we look in Leviticus 4:13, it says, and if the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and the thing be hidden from the eyes of the assembly, that word assembly there is the same exact word used in Deuteronomy 23 for congregation. So it's showing you it's a special group within the people. Right. And when who was it? Korah.
What was so special about Naomi?
Hey, you see the way this brother tried to change the subject real quick because he see that he getting cut up right there? Because that is, did you maybe rewind it and re-listen to that? Because what that was saying is you had the congregation, and then you had the assembly, you had the idah, and then you had the kahal. Both of these words get translated as congregation. And in Deuteronomy 23, like I was pointing out, the word there is kahal. So the assembly in the scripture I was bringing out were like the priests, the elders, the specific group that it was hidden from. The congregation, the idah, was the common people. In Deuteronomy 23, it says that they will never enter the kahal, that part of the congregation, forever. And that's how Yah sees fit to do it. That does not mean they can't enter into the common congregation. Let us continue.
I'm not sure. What do you mean?
Because Ruth had to give that baby to Naomi. She was a part of that council.
Right. So the thing to
Again, it doesn't say that Naomi was part of the council. You're asserting that. It seems like Naomi stayed back off up in the cut with Ruth while Boaz handled business. But you would portray it like that to make it seem like, the way he's framing it, she wasn't allowed around the temple, but they weren't even at the temple.
I haven't studied that, but if I'm going to just speak on it from what I've learned, is she was reestablishing her son's bloodline. that son represented the son she lost to carry on that name. So in a sense, she was giving her son back, in a sense, because that's.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because
yes, sir.
I'm approaching 3 hours. I got one more brother in the back I want to bring on before I get up.
I feel you. I feel you.
What is the kingdom of heaven going to look like for Gentiles?
I've spent most of my time studying in other departments, if you will. It definitely seems like there's servitude going on. It definitely seems like, there's a lot of that. But to me, I focus a lot on bridging the gap to show that you did have Gentiles basically attaching themselves to the children of Israel, even back in the Torah.
Okay, all right, now watch this though.
Yes, sir.
If a heathen can be grafted in, this is a good question. I should have asked this. If a heathen can be grafted in, when the curses go on the Israelites, does the curses go on that? Because the Bible said the curses will go on the seed of Israel. Do the curses?
We shift gears rather quickly right here, but I would say absolutely, because if I look back to my childhood, there's been curses upon curses upon curses, and how exactly does Yah work that out? I'm not sure, but this kind of doesn't get addressed. We shift gears real quick.
Go on the grafted in Gentiles.
Hey, they just might, brother, because I tell you what, I haven't done the homework on if I'm by blood Israelite, or if the father's called me out of, because bro, I'm from Vegas, I'm from Sin City, so I've done slanged, I've pimped, I've done all kinds of craziness, you know what I'm saying? And the father called me out of all of that. So let me
ask you this, right? Did you pimp black women?
Nah.
Who was you pimping on?
She was Mexican, the female I was messing with.
Oh, so you pimped on
but so am I. But hold on. I'm Mexican as well. I'm Mexican on my mother's side. I'm Indian on my father's side.
You said there's white. You said there's white somewhere in there. Is the white on your father's side?
It is.
So there's a possibility that you were a white man pimping on an Israelite woman.
Right. But see, here's the thing, brother. I've repented for me. I've repented for my forefathers. Hey, and I'll tell you what, if I got bloodline, let's just say from Edom or Esau and from Jacob, I'm repenting for all my forefathers, because I've never liked this wicked country. Even before the Father woke me up, I just never liked it, bro. Honestly, I'm like, we rocking with the Indians. We ain't rocking with the Pilgrims. I'm like, they wicked, bro. Columbus, wicked, like all these dudes. Like this country was built on wickedness. But I've repented for all my forefathers, because I know that America is truly wicked. But then at the same time, I can acknowledge that the reason all this happened to Jacob was because of their forefathers not obeying, and that it was the Father's will that this happened. That doesn't justify America at all. Not at all. Just like when Babylon was sent to enforce, basically, right?
Look, can you rap?
A little bit. My brother actually raps, bro, and he's putting some songs together. Y'all should do a song together.
Nah, I can't rap. I'll be messing around a little bit, but nah, I don't rap. My brother, Sincere for Yah, Syncere, Sincere for Yah. You should check him out. He put in much work in the rap game.
Brother,
I'm about to see if you're an Israelite right now. Spit something.
Oh man, he said spit something. He said freestyle. Hey, I spit this for my kids the other day. I said, listen, I said Shabbat Shalom is what I be on, studying and resting, keeping it.
Yeah, right. Nigga, it's like a plan.
Oh wow! No love. No love. Damn, you do me like that, brother?
I'm joking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, but brother, I would just ask you.
Can you dance?
Oh, I be two-stepping.
Okay, that's not really dancing. That's just.
I know. Can I cook? Oh, I be cooking. I taught my wife how to cook.
Is your wife black?
Mexican.
Okay. So you was pimping Mexicans, married to Mexicans?
Brother, hey, listen, bro. It was Sin City, brother. Like, I was a product of my environment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. Well, I will say this. If you, I can't say if you're an Israelite or not for sure. Only Yahweh Shai can be the one to say for sure who's an Israelite and who's not. That's Matthew 13.
So the thing with that is, right, whether I'm grafted in or whether I'm a natural branch, I'm Israel either way. Now, the brother might not agree with that. It seems that he somewhat changed his position on that. You know, I don't know if this conversation played any role in that, but, you know, he's still teaching the doctrine tainted and falsely. But hopefully we can set up a debate and get further into it. But, you know, we Israel one way or the other, right? Remember, though, don't boast against the natural branches.
He separates the weeds from the tares. So I will say this. If you feel like you're an Israelite, keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. And when the Messiah comes, if you're deemed to be righteous, you will get saved. But if you, in fact, are Edomite, then you got captivity coming to you. So that's all I can say for that.
I hear you, Abe.
You're always welcome down here
Appreciate it.
To have an exchange of doctrine.
Yeah, one of these days, I'm putting notes together and stuff. I'd like to have a more in-depth dialogue with you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just pick a topic and have your cards right, have your bullets right, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, bet.
All right, shalom, brother. Peace.
Well, there you have it. That was the exchange between Brother Deacon. I think he goes by Hakah now, priest Hakah, Genesis. You know, and I tell you what, like, I've appreciated these brothers to push me to sharpen my sword to combat, you know, false doctrine, you know, so it's all love. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. But until next time, shalom.